The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Gloves Are Off. I'm back. I'm Moses Woldu, and I'm joined by, no, this is not Greg Buchanan. It's Matt Schumont. He filled in. You did a great job last week, by the way.
Thank you.
Filling
I told
in.
everyone I still had the turkey hangover, so it's good to see you back.
Well, you know what? I'm back and healthy, so that's
good.
What counts. Exactly. Matt, of course, you are our reporter as well as anchor here at New Cap Sports. Glad to have you here.
Thanks.
And pleased to have you as well, Tanner Smith, champion. And I think that's a nice title for you, isn't it? Lloyd, Mr. Vandals, of course, you guys had a great win in Nationals a couple weeks ago. How you doing?
Yep.
You doing well?
Doing good, yep.
Yeah?
Good to be here.
Man of a few words, but you know what? You'll definitely start talking once we start getting into the highlights. Tanner, it's always glad to have you here, my friend. All right, let's talk about the MLB playoffs. Well, interesting. We'll talk about the Yankees in a second, but let's talk about last night's game. The Giants taking on the Cardinals. Must-win game for the Giants. Last thing you want to do is go down 2-0 in a series. Came out with a great performance, although there was a little bit of controversy involving Matt Holliday and, of course, that slide that took out Marco Scutaro. Let's talk about that. Do you think that was a decent, or was that a good slide?
Absolutely. It's the playoffs. You got to do whatever it takes to win. You know, you don't see it too much in the regular season, but you got to do what you got to do to break up the double play. Fortunate for Scutaro, wrong place at the wrong time, but you got to do what you got to do, and I thought it was an okay slide and broke up the double play.
Yeah, also looked like he almost broke Scutaro's leg. Do you feel that actually was legit?
I feel it was the dirty slide. Come in late, got his cleat up there a little bit, and I thought it was dirty.
Because it looked like he literally was not going for second base. He was like, all right, I'm going to take out Marco Scutaro.
But how often do they go for second base
but the thing
when they're
is,
trying to break up the double
but you know
play?
what? It would have been smart if he slid a little bit early. It didn't look like he was sliding to second. It's like he got past second in order to slide and get Scutaro.
But at the same time, with him sliding like that, what do you say when someone goes at home, when they run over the catcher? Do we have to take that out of the game too? It's the exact same thing. Running the catcher, trying to break up a double play.
But the thing is, you're trying to score in that situation. I think, but
you're trying to keep an inning alive too, trying to break up a double
but
play.
I think that in terms of baseball culture is a little bit different than saying sliding into what he did into second, because technically baseball put in a rule that said that that's illegal, and that looked to me like a little bit of a cheap play by Holliday.
I don't know if it was or not. You might as well just slide head first if you're going to say that's cheap. let's just all.
If you slide head first, I'll tell you.
Be kind and just slide
Holliday
head
would
first.
be more like, Justin Morneau and have concussion problems, because that was a hard slide into someone's leg. So
it's a risk-reward thing.
Yeah, it looked pretty chep though.
I don't know. I like it.
All right,
That's just
agree
me.
to
I
disagree.
Like
All right, well, let's talk about the New York Yankees. I'm sure you guys will agree with this. Nobody wants them to win. I guess that's a consensus if you're not a Yankees fan.
That's true.
But you know what? You got to look at their chances. It does not look very good. You have Justin Verlander, who's going to be starting tonight for the Tigers. He has been solid, not just in these playoffs, but overall in the last few seasons. And then you also have the injury to Derek Jeter. You have the inability to hit by Robinson Cano and Alex Rodriguez. What's going on with the Yankees, and do they have any chance in this series?
I think they do. They still got their home games that they got to play. Obviously, losing Jeter's huge, right? He's your backbone on the team. But when you got a guy like Raul Ibanez who's just coming up and just jacking home runs like there's no tomorrow, then it's pretty safe. But like you said, they got Verlander and Fister and Scherzer, who all can strike out guys. So it's going to be tough for the Yankees, but I think it could go 7 games.
Yeah, down 2-0, going back to Detroit, losing Jeter. I don't like their odds of coming out of this series at all.
Because he is the heart and soul of that team. He is their captain. And you could see how the team was deflated once they lost Jeter. They're like, oh no, this does not look good. And of course, Game 2 was indicative of that. Of course, there was that safe call that what shouldn't have been. But again, their chances, if they lose tonight, and I'm talking about the Yankees, are they done? You talk about them, if they win, that's one thing. But are they done if they lose with Verlander on the hill?
Absolutely, they're done. There's no way you can come back 3-0 against the Detroit team. It's only been done, once? And it was the Red Sox against the Yankees. It's pretty tough to do. They might snag a couple wins, but if they lose tonight, they're done. Stick a fork in them.
Yeah, the odds aren't good at coming back from 3 down against any team, let alone Detroit. So Verlander's on the mound. We'll see what happens, but I think they're done.
All right, the Toronto Blue Jays, move on to them. Of course, no postseason baseball for them again. It's been 19 years, soon to be 20. 1993 was the last time. The Boston Red Sox, they had a terrible year, of course, looking for a new manager. They were actually looking to court John Farrell. If you were the Toronto Blue Jays, would you give up Farrell, possibly trade him for picks, cash, you name it, and try to bring in somebody else? Or do you keep Farrell for the year and try to re-sign him?
I think that they should keep him. I guess it depends on who they're going to bring in to replace him. But he's got 1 year left on his deal. I would give him the extra year to figure it out. He's had 2 losing seasons, I think, with the Blue Jays, the last 2. So I would give him 1 more year, see what he can do. If not, see you later.
Yeah, you can't get rid of him, especially because it's an AL East team. You don't trade to the AL East, never. Bo Sox, Yankees, you don't trade him. He's a good manager. He's just, what are you going to do this year with all the injuries? Romero was terrible this year. If they can get some players, some talent, a starting rotation, everything will gel. I think they'll come close to trying to get that wild card spot. I don't know if they can win the division, especially Baltimore, how they played this year. But keep Farrell, see what happens, get a rotation, and go from there.
All right, but you wouldn't want to trade him? Like, say, for example, if you could get cash,
Never trade
a player.
Daily. No.
I understand that, but you
No.
want to at least milk it for what it's worth, maybe bring in another manager
It depends
who's got
who it is.
Terry Francona. Terry Francona could be, he is available.
He just went to Cleveland.
Okay, well, there you go. That sums everything up. But I'm saying some guy that could come in.
It depends who's out there. There's not too many managers that are out there right now, and it depends who they get, what kind of prospect they get. I don't know if they need draft picks necessarily right now. They got a lot of young up and talent up in their farm club, but they need pitching. I don't think they're going to get pitching if they trade Farrell away. But plus, who trades managers these days? That's just me.
Marlins did it last year. Didn't really help.
Then
Didn't really help them out.
exactly.
Didn't really help them out. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. More Gloves Are Off.